Hi, are you confused about how to configure your twin set? Well, watch this video and I'll show you how. Hi, I'm Andy Northern Diver and welcome to another episode of this series of scuba diving tutorials. In this episode I'll be showing you how to configure your twin set with the APEKS XTX DST first stage regulators and a long hose. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting the subscribe button below. That way you get to see all of our other content really easily. And at the side of it you'll see there's a little bell icon. If you click that, it'll give you a notification every time we post a new video. But if you don't have a YouTube account, click this little link up here and it'll take you straight to a video that I've made. It'll take you 2 minutes just to set up your own YouTube account, and that way you can like, comment and subscribe to any of the content that you watch on YouTube. So in this video I'll be showing you how to configure the XTX DST, so dry seal turret version of the first stage regulator, for a twin set with a long hose. So if you've watched the previous video on how to configure a twin set with a long hose the way I do it, this setup will be quite familiar to you. So I've got the good old Hogarthian backplate, wing and harness which is set up for a twin set. We've got two 12-litre cylinders that are joined with a manifold and twinning bands. All that's the twin set system. And added to that then I've got two APEKS DST, so that's dry sealed turret versions of the first stage regulator, and the long hose configuration. So what we've done is configured it with matching regulators, so they're both, I'm using an XTX 40 regulator. Now these, yeah, some people might go out there, oh you've got the yellow ones, they're octopuses. Well, it's my wife's setup and both of them are exactly the same, so I know that this is her setup, not mine. So we'll start off with the left cylinder because that's where I'm nearest. So we've got, like I said, the XTX DST regulator, and on there we've got three hoses. The first one being our secondary second stage regulator. So that's the one with the necklace on, so that's warm around the diver's neck. So for that we'll just put it over the top of the isolation valve, so imagine that's going to sit there. The main problem with not using the fifth port is the hose now has an unnatural 90-degree kink to get it to come behind the diver's head, which starts putting a lot of pressure on. So next we've got the dry suit inflator hose. That's in the port directly below the one for the second stage regulator. So obviously that turret will move to adjust ever so slightly to allow the routing of that hose much more easier. And this one just goes straight underneath the left arm and plugs into the dry suit. Then we've got the good old SPG, the submersible pressure gauge. Got a nice great big bolt snap on it. I like a big one. I like a big bolt snap because that way when I've got a pair of gloves on it's really easy to manipulate, get down there and clip it straight onto the D-ring. So moving over to the right hand shoulder, again there's just two hoses on here. The first one goes over to our low pressure inflation hose of the wing, and again there's quite an unnatural kink in the hose which I'm not a fan of at all. And in the port above the low pressure inflation hose we've got the long hose that comes out for a primary second stage regulator. That allows it, as it's deployed, for the out of gas diver to be able to come up overhead, or will actually be in front of the diver without really impeding the sort of direction of the inflation hose for the wing. So I'm sure you can see the benefits if you could get the fifth port additions to these regulators, just for the routing of the hoses to be a lot sort of not only neater but less damaging to them hoses over time. So in putting your kit on, once you've got it all fastened on and you're comfortable where it is, first thing you need to do is get your inflation hose, tuck it underneath the arm. Always a struggle, so a buddy will be helpful, and clip that straight into your dry suit. Then what I want to do is get my secondary second stage, put that around my head, okay, and then get the necklace, pop that over your head. So now we've got a few other things that need to be configured in a specific order. So first of all, I'd get your torch, bring that across the chest and put that onto the D-ring over here. Secondly, I bring over your primary second stage, check the hose routing. You can look right over your shoulder, pull it out, check it's not tangled. Even better, reach over your shoulder and check the hose, there's no kinks and it's not tangled with anything. Then what we're going to do is bring that down the side and tuck it underneath the actual battery. Pull that down nice and tight, and then it goes over the shoulder, over the head, ready to be worn or used. So for this, obviously I'm not ready to get in the water just yet, or I'm not going to at all because I'm in my garage making this video. So because I'm not using it, clip it up. That's it, all done, safe, secure. So I hope by these three videos, the single and the two different ways of setting up a twin set, you've sort of grasped the idea of why I dive a long hose, how I configure it, and some of the alterations you can make to make it work better for you and not really cause any damage to your kit. And certainly your hoses are your lifeline and the life support you need underwater. So looking after them and routing them slightly different can not only help you prolong their life, stop you coming into trouble whilst you're underwater, and also be better and more beneficial for your dive buddy. So if this is a setup that you fancy, give me a big thumbs up. If you've got any comments or questions or even queries, put them in the comments box below and I'll be sure to answer you and give you a thumbs up. I'd like to say thanks for watching and see you on the next one. See you on Insta.